if any revelation given to Joseph Smith to susceptible to scientific investigation. It is the dietary health code known as the Word of Wisdom. In that revelation given in 1833, church members were directed to abstain from coffee, tea, tobacco, and all alcoholic beverages. Those who obey the commandment are promised health in their navel and marrow to their bones. In another study in California, where Mormons are less than 2% of the population, Dr. James Enstrom, a radiation physicist in UCLA, who is not a member of the church, found even more startling disclosures. Dr. Enstrom found that Mormons had a lung cancer rate 75% below the national average, and an overall cancer rate 45% below the national average. As he concluded his study, Dr. Enstrom said of the Mormons, they must be doing something right. Joseph Smith received the Word of Wisdom in 1833. Today, medical science has validated the soundness of that revelation.
Revelation given through Joseph Smith the prophet at Kirtland, Ohio, February 27, 1833. History of the Church, Volume 1, pages 327 through 329. As a consequence of the early brethren using tobacco in their meetings, the prophet was led to ponder upon the matter. Consequently, he inquired of the Lord concerning it. This revelation, known as the Word of Wisdom, was the result. The first 3 verses were originally written as an inspired introduction and description by the prophet. A word of wisdom, but by revelation and the word of wisdom, showing forth the order and will of God in the temporal salvation of all saints in the last days, given for a principle with promise. Thus saith the Lord unto you, in consequence of evils and designs which do and will exist in the hearts of conspiring men in the last days, I have warned you and forewarned you by giving unto you this word of wisdom by revelation, which do and will exist in the hearts of conspiring men in the last days. I have warned you and forewarned you by giving unto you this word of wisdom by revelation, that inasmuch as any man drinketh wine or strong drink among you, behold, it is not good. And again, strong drinks are not for the belly, but for the washing of your bodies. And again, tobacco is not for the body, neither for the belly, and is not good for man, but is an herb for bruises and all sick cattle, to be used with judgment and skill. And all saints who remember to keep and do these sayings, walking in obedience to the commandments, shall receive health in their navel and marrow to their bones, and shall find wisdom and great treasures of knowledge, even hidden treasures, and shall run and not be weary, and shall walk and not faint.
Well, 1964 was the first Surgeon General's report. There's been an annual report since then. The first one stated that cigarette smoking was hazardous to your health, and that's when they were identifying the relationship between smoking and lung cancer. And subsequent reports have dealt with many of the negative effects of smoking, and that's been heart disease, emphysema, bronchitis, the negative effects of secondhand smoke. And the most recent report that just came out 2 months ago, Surgeon General Koop identified nicotine, which is the most active, or the major chemical and the main reason people smoke, identified that as a chemical as addictive as heroin and cocaine.
I had spent about $20,000 on marijuana over about a 15-year period.
We do not change just because we die. If you're addicted to drugs, bad habits, and these desires here upon the earth, we shall be addicted to the same things in the spirit world.
There's a song about a guy named Stevie who went out and bought a machine gun and committed mass murder in every direction. When you play the record backwards, you get some other message. Another one bites the dust. When you play it backwards, says, start to smoke marijuana.
Here's Styx singing Snowblind. You get snowblind overdosing on a certain drug, and of course the lyrics, how did I ever get into this mess, being snowblind. When you hear that song backwards,
Such music has little virtue, and it is repellent to the Spirit of God. For since the beginning of time, there has been a never-ending struggle to influence and control the human mind. Too often, the false promises and enticements of conspiring men have been successful. Now, a mind that has been deceived into receiving trash input cannot but send false signals to the feet, to the hands, to the tongue. Future decisions will all be colored by the impurity allowed to enter that control center, for history is replete with examples of nations which have fallen in a large measure through licentiousness.
From the Book of Mormon, we see the evils of secret combination portrayed in graphic and chilling reality.
Are you concerned about the increasing subversions in this blessed country and other countries of the free world, and the spread of wickedness by a giant conspiracy?
Bands of Gadianton robbers will infest every nation.
Gadianton robbers fill the judgment seats in many nations. An evil power seeks to overthrow the freedom of all nations and countries.
We must awaken to a sense of our awful situation because of this secret combination which is among us.
Oh, I'm sure to some it is very frightening information. If you read the Book of Mormon, you find that the Nephites were destroyed in 4 ages because of the magics and sorcery throughout the land.